Now, can you see my file?
Yes, sir.
So this is a question from one of these exams, uh, and it's a very simple question. One doesn't need to know anything. If you use your common sense, you should be able to answer. Okay. So as the title says, it's a question from
Mm,
material science, and it's about temperature sensor.
mm,
Okay. Now this is the question. It says temperature variation of the resistivity of four materials are shown in this graph ABCD. All right.
mm.
The material that would make the
Yes, sir.
most sensitive temperature sensor when used between T1 and T2 is which material you would like to use and why. These things you have to answer.
Basically, sir,
Sorry. Uh, uh, there is a bit of lag in your voice.
so sir, I'm saying that key equations में sir resistivity is something directly proportional to temperature.
No, here nothing is given. You are only showing how resistivity varies with temperature. From this, you have to decide which of the material would be best suited to use as temperature sensor between T1 and T2.
I think the option A, sir, because the resistivity and temperature is directly proportional to the.
Option A, you are saying. This one. Think about it. Between
Because
T1
it
and
is.
T2, suppose if I look at it, you know,
Hmm.
at two different temperature, it gives me same resistivity. So if I use resistivity to measure temperature, there will be a confusion because same resistivity will give me two different temperatures.
Yes, yes, sir.
So A cannot be the case, correct?
Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Right.
So,
So,
if you
sir,
look at, if I'm giving you example, if you look at mercury thermometer, right, then the length of the mercury tells you what is the temperature.
yes, sir.
Right. So if you take a particular length, and it is supposed to indicate two different temperatures. That is not of good. That property is not good of good use. So in this case, resistivity
Yes,
is
sir.
going to translate into temperature. It won't be because then there are two corresponding temperatures.
Okay. So, sir, option C is at temperature T1, the resistivity is a little bit high, and at temperature T2, the resistivity is a bit low. So, at
Okay.
in between two
Okay.
temperature, we
How about other two options, B and D?
So, sir, basically in B, we get the same as in A for the two temperature, and we get the
No, no, no,
resistivity.
no, 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 no.
And
In B, the variation is very small, and in fact, close to T1, the
huh,
graph is almost horizontal.
huh,
Almost.
yes, sir.
So it's not a good choice
Yes,
compared to C. And
yes, sir.
D has a
Yes.
similar situation like A because you have two different temperatures
Hmm.
for the same resistivity.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So you understood now
Yes.
how are you making a decision?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I understood.
this does not require you to know any physics in advance, but it tests your basic common sense and the uh,
Yes, sir.
I mean, unless somebody knows physics, would not know what is resistivity versus temperature. So that much physics is understood
Yes, sir.
if you're a physics student. But apart from that, it's a common sense. So yes, your answer is C.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
right.
yes,
So
sir.
that's the discussion. If you can see,
Yes. Yes, sir. I can see.
right. Uh, so A and D cannot make good sensor, and B
Uh,
is almost constant. So C is the best
yes,
choice.
sir. Yes, sir.
All,
Yes, sir.
all right.
Yes. Understand.
Yeah.
Understood, sir.
Yeah. I will show you, more examples like this. Just give me a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. I see.
Right. So as it says, it's a problem with ideal gas equation. So uh, let's see the question properly. It says two ideal gases in a box are initially separated by a partition. Right? N1 V1 and N2 V2.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Hmm.
And the partition is removed. What will be pressure? What will be pressure of the mixture at equilibrium temperature, capital T? So obviously, when you mix them up, uh, uh, the total volume will become V1 plus V2. Total number of particles or number of moles will become N1 plus N2. And
N2,
temperature, let's say
yes.
if it becomes capital T, what will be the pressure?
Sir, simply option B, 2, because PV equals to nRT. So if V1 plus V2, which is equals to N1 plus N2, so N1 plus N2 on V1 V2.
Yeah, that's correct. So you don't have to do any calculation here, right? Your common sense tells you it has
Yes,
to
sir.
be
Yes,
option
sir.
2. Let's check.
Yes, sir.
Let's check.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? 1 minute. What was shown? Yeah, option 2. Actually, if you that should be T. Actually, there is a typographic mistake. This should have been T.
Oh, understood. Understood.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm just opening a file. Right. Can you see my file now? It says energy
And
phase diagram. And look at the question. Says consider particle with total energy E. Okay, so that dotted line is energy E, and the potential shown is V. All right. Which of the following figure best represents orbit of particle in the phase space? It's momentum versus position graph. Yes. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Abhishek?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is your choice? Now see, no calculation required, just a common sense.
Yes, sir. सर्कुलर हो सकता है या नहीं? सर्कुलर तो नहीं होगा।
हाँ, अभी अभी आप जो आंसर दे रहे हो ना, वो ट्रायल एरर बोलते हैं उसको.
हाँ
यू आर नॉट गिविंग
हाँ हाँ, यस।
प्रॉपर थॉट टू फिजिक्स ऑफ इट.
सर कंफ्यूज सर इसमें थोड़ा।
या, तो इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल फिजिक्स, कुछ ज्यादा नहीं करना है. इट्स पोजिशन वर्सेस,
हम्म,
या, जस्ट आई विल शो यू समथिंग, जस्ट होल्ड.
यस सर।
What is your energy equation? Can you see on screen?
हाँ, यस सर, यस सर।
Correct?
हाँ, यस सर।
So P will be square root of 2m P minus Vx,
Yes.
right? And since you take square
Yes.
root, it can be positive or negative. Both possibilities exist.
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
So all four graphs
Yes.
shows a positive as well as negative value. Now you look at this here.
Hmm.
See here, potential energy is large.
Hmm.
You see here,
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, sir.
here it is even larger. So
Yes. It
yeah,
is
where
very big.
potential energy is very large, naturally momentum will be small because E is constant,
Hmm. Yes, sir.
right? Up, look at this. Potential energy is almost zero. So you'll have a large momentum. So here जो gap है, that represents
Yes.
momentum. This gap represents momentum. Okay. So on
Okay.
the left hand side, you have
Uh,
smaller gap, so small momentum value. On right hand side, you have larger gap, so large momentum value. And in between, there is some small value. Now you look
yes,
at
sir.
the graph and decide which could be the possible one.
I think it's
Yeah.
the difference between the momentum values are going increasing. मतलब एक से एक पॉइंट से सेकंड पॉइंट में से
which
इंक्रीज हो रहा है।
option? Yeah, okay. So which option? Now we have already discussed. So you have to make a choice out of 4.
ऑप्शन है
Why not B?
cos sir B में in the positive axis in the first quadrant it is a little bit increasing and then zero if you talking about the momentum value.
So here actually on the right hand side, for positive X, you expect larger momentum value. And on the left hand side, for
Yes sir,
negative
yes
X,
sir.
you expect smaller.
Expect the
That is satisfied in
smaller
1, not
value.
in 2. Right?
Yes sir,
In
that's why.
3
Yes.
would be the case if your
It is
potential
symmetric.
was 3 would be the case if your potential was symmetric. Okay. Then
Symmetric, yes.
fourth is ruled out. Actually, this is a homework for you to find out. If you take harmonic oscillator potential, no, then you will get this fourth graph. But how, that you have to show me when we meet next time.
Okay sir, okay, different.
So we'll go to the next one.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
I'm opening the next file.
Okay sir, okay sir.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet sir. Yes, yes.
Okay, the
Uh,
problem is clear. It's about nuclear motion and reduced mass. Now this is the problem.
yes.
What does it say?
Okay, sir. The wavelength of the first Balmer line of hydrogen is 56 nanometer. The wavelength of the corresponding line for a hydrogenic atom with Z equals to 3 and nuclear mass kg.
So you are given the wavelength for Balmer's first line. You have to find corresponding
yes,
line for hydrogenic atom. So the atom which is exactly like hydrogen. Hydrogenic means it will have only one electron. It won't have more.
Yes.
So, but Z is 6. And the mass, dekho, when we take hydrogen atom, we generally don't bother about mass of the proton.
Yes.
Just take mass of electron. But actually speaking, mass of nucleus does make a difference. Right? So in this case, where your Z becomes 6, mass also have to be worried about. And that would make corresponding in the wavelength. So normally speaking, normally if I say Z equal to 6, you know, energy levels in hydrogen atom, how do they vary with Z? Do you know?
Yes, straight line for the we have series like Paschen bracket fund.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying energy expression. How does it depend on Z value?
Directly proportional to Z.
No, that's the see now that's where the weakness is. Okay, so
Yes, sir. Yes.
you should know what is the energy expression. Okay, energy expression is this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What?
N equals to minus 13.6 upon minus 13.6 upon
Wait.
Z square.
Don't jump. Don't jump.
Okay.
So this is actually, if I take minus mu divided by mass of electron, okay, I'll take plus, and then I'll put minus me. So I'll put Z square here, e raised to 4, 8 epsilon 0 square h square, 1 by n square. And if you know, this is minus 13.6.
Yes, sir. Electron.
And mu is the reduced mass of electron,
Yes, sir.
nucleus, electron plus nucleus. And
Nucleus. Yes.
therefore, mu upon electron mass will become 1 upon me upon m plus 1. Got it? All right. And then there is a Z square.
Yes.
So there is a Z square factor. So I can write this energy expression as minus 13.6 over n square.
Z square.
Z square upon 1 plus. All right. Of course, if the nucleus is too heavy, this factor would not be a significant one. But it would definitely. Now, wavelength goes as reciprocal of energy.
Yes, sir.
So, wavelength will go as 1 over Z square. So, practically, your Z is 6. So, if you divide 656 nanometer by 36, okay, that should give you the answer. Or at least it will take you close to the answer. You can check and see what answer you get. I hope you are sitting with calculator.
Yes, sir.
See, it's very simple. 656, you take it as something like 660. You divide by 6, it will give you 110. And if you divide 110 by 6 further, right? If it was 120, it would give you exactly 20. If it's 110, it will give you 2 less.
18.3.
Right. So you don't need to, you have to learn all these tricks. You see, you have to learn all
Yes,
this.
sir.
I mean, look at the numbers and instantly you should realize that I should play such tricks to decide with what is the answer. Because every time if you
Yes.
sit and do all the detailed calculation, see these kind of questions when they are asked in exam, they are bonus questions. Bonus means here there is no scope you lose marks, but you can't afford to spend too much time. Such
Hmm.
questions should be answered within half a minute so that you have more time for more difficult questions.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Let's look at what it says.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's what we did actually.
Hmm.
But I just showed you how you do it quickly.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go over to the next. I hope it's okay so far. You are making
Yes,
use.
sir. It is okay. Yes, sir.
So now what I'm showing you, including this problem which I showed you,
Hmm.
these are straightforward problems. Means you don't have to do much work,
Hmm.
and you are still able to arrive at the answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But it does
Yes, sir.
it does expect that you remember the basic formula.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is okay. See, the meeting will end in 10 minutes. So after this, we will log in again for the same one.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Semi-empirical.
Yes. Can you see? It says semi-empirical
Yes,
mass
sir. Yes, sir.
formula. Right.
Empirical mass formula. Yes, sir. Yes.
Now this is the question,
Okay.
right? And it's a very straightforward and simple question if you realize.
Hmm.
So you are given the formula for binding energy. All right. You are given the relation between coefficients and you are asked which Z value will give you the most stable isobar for some value
Yes.
of A. Right. So what should you do?
By the relation
Sorry. Say it again.
energy, like
Hmm. Your voice is getting cut.
binding energy की relation.
Binding energy will repeat it. I am not able to hear what you are saying. Yeah, you are able to rejoin it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll go for it again. Yeah, tell me what do you think you should be doing?
So, sir, basically, from the relation of binding energy, we can solve this question. Like
No, no,
n
binding
times
energy
mass of
formula is
neutron
already
plus m.
binding energy formula is already
Uh-huh.
given to you. Now you have to decide what Z value will give you the most stable isobar. You have to choose one of the four options. This is a question, straightforward question. So what does it mean by saying the stable isobar?
Hmm.
Stable, when does it become more stable?
Disintegrate.
No. It doesn't say this is radioactive, correct? See,
Yes.
right, for same A value, okay, you can have different Z values, okay? So they are called isobars.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
which one will be more stable out of whatever? You may have 2 stable isobars, 3 stable isobars, 4 stable isobars, okay? For example, what should I say? See, you can have helium-4 and you can have lithium-4 also. Well, lithium
Hmm.
atomic weight is 3, but you can have 4 also
Hmm.
in case of lithium.
Yes.
Sorry, lithium is 7. Okay, I'm sorry. Lithium is 7. What would be the better example? Yeah, you can have lithium-4 also. It may be stable, it may not be stable, because lithium has Z equal to 3.
Hmm.
So you can have lithium with only 1 neutron. That may not be stable. That's a different thing.
Yes.
So you can have same A value giving you different nuclei. So which one of them will be the most stable nuclei? See, all of them may be stable and
I
still
think the
one of them
option.
will be more stable. See,
Yes, sir.
stability means the most tightly bound.
Sir.
The one which has highest binding energy will be a stable one.
As stable one. Yes.
Right. So if you take the one
So,
with
sir,
highest,
option A. Option A.
no, dekho, abhi don't jump.
Why?
Like, don't jump like this.
No, sir.
How do you know?
No, sir. Sir, by the formula in the relation, if we are given with the ratio of A4 by A3, which is equals to 30. And the relation in atomic mass, like A raised to -1/3, and other in A4, A minus third. So
Okay.
1/3.
Okay. That's not how you think. That's not how you think. You want to find most stable one, you have to find Z value for which binding energy is maximum. So how do you find a maximum of a function? How do you decide when is the function going to be maximum?
We differentiate it.
Correct. So you
Yes,
take dv by dz equal to 0. Okay. So you have to right hand side, you have to differentiate with respect to z. Okay. And then see what z value you arrive at. That z value will depend on ratio of A4 and A3. So they have given you the value. Okay. Now you want to know the answer, whether your guess of option 1 is right or not. Let's see.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right? Is your choice correct?
Yes.
No.
No, sir.
It's a third option which is correct.
Third option. Okay, sir. We have to differentiate here.
Yeah, you can't just decide like that. This is not how you're not gambling. Okay, you are doing physics.
Yes, sir.
Right. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is yeah. Okay. Now, actually, there is only 3 minutes left, and we won't be able to discuss anything more than this.
Okay, sir.